There's another inflection point, and this one we don't need to guess about. The new Model 3 is very popular in Italy. Clearly, there's an inflection point here. We are doing quite a bit better than before. And Roland says that all European countries with the refurbished Model 3 supply are trending higher than last quarter. A new Tesla center opened in Italy, and many people waited for hours just to get a test drive. What's also really good is that many of these people have never driven electric cars, so they are coming in specifically just to try out a Tesla vehicle. This is pretty good. Also, there are not that many cars in Italy, electric cars. I heard only about 4% of the cars in Italy are electric, and it's a pretty big market. So there is a lot of room for Tesla to grow in Italy. In Europe, currently every country is doing well except the UK, but they did not get any refresh Model 3s yet because they drive on the other side of the road. Here's the year-to-date situation in Europe. Except for Germany and the UK, all other countries are doing fairly well. But Roland says that for Germany, this can still be explained because last year many cars were bought in Germany with the high subsidies and then exported after 6 months to neighboring countries because you had to own the car for 6 months at least to keep the subsidy. But now the subsidies have been reduced and the cars are being bought directly in these countries. So maybe 2022 sales in Germany should be seen as an outlier. The subsidy was reduced by about 3,000, so probably all of the profit that was worth taking has disappeared because you have to keep in mind that the car obviously also depreciates after you buy it. So if before you were able to make, let's say, 4,000, now you can only make 1,000 doing this. I think there's certainly a fair point in that explanation. There's someone here saying that he bought an electric car in Germany and then sold it in Sweden for a 10,000 euro profit, but he bought a Model 3 with that money. Also, it is difficult to flip Teslas now because Tesla just keeps dropping prices, so But it was certainly possible in 2022. Recurrent gathered thousands of data points from 10,000 EVs to show us how freezing temperatures affect the range, and some models are doing much better than others. Overall, Teslas have done pretty well. The Tesla Model Y and the Model 3 lost 24% of their range in freezing conditions, but the Hyundai Kona, for example, lost 34%, and the Volkswagen ID4 lost 46%. That's just terrible. The Audi e-tron actually did really well. The verified winter range only had 16% less range. It almost matches a gas-powered car. A gas car's mileage is on average 15% lower in cold winter temperatures. But overall, Tesla did alright here. There's a complete knockoff of the Tesla bot, and even the demos are the same. I mean, they are like exactly the same pretty much. Exactly the same ideas. I mean, exactly the same. Everything is basically the same. But probably one important difference is that this is not going to be end-to-end. Tesla's bot, where they showed this demo, supposedly is end-to-end, where they just fed AI a lot of clips and then it learned to do that. And that is an important difference. This is good news for us Tesla stock investors. Tony here says that he sold his Mach-E and bought a Model Y Performance. The Tesla is such a better EV experience than the Ford. I agree, the Mach-E has a better exterior and interior styling, and that's why I originally bought it over the Model Y, but that is where its advantages end. Tesla is less expensive, handles better, much more efficient, app is way better, and charging is a breeze. 150 kilowatts seems like a decent charging speed for the Mach-E until you charge at 253 kilowatts and realize what an advantage that really is on a road trip. The Mach-E is like dating a hot girl with a horrible personality, fun to show off, but awful to live with. The Model Y is maybe a little bland, but it's great with everything else. There's a reason why 4 Mach-E's are piling up at dealer lots, and Tesla Model Ys just keep being sold. It's going to be the world's best-selling vehicle this year. Earlier, GM's crew said that employees will not be able to sell their shares in Q4, but now GM's Cruise CEO offers apology and says, we will allow share sales. But the whole situation still stinks. The CEO said in his Saturday email that certain employees could sell a limited number of shares in a one-time opportunity, citing workers' concerns over tax obligations. A limited amount, and only certain employees. The Cruise CEO is basically still holding hostages here. Many of these people want to leave, but you sort of have to sell your shares first before leaving. But if suddenly we see a lot of people leaving from Cruise, that would indicate that they think the company is worth pretty much nothing at this point, because they would just rather go work at some other company. And don't worry what will happen to the potential shares that they could sell in the future, because if they are worthless, then yeah, there's not much point in staying. Possible inflection point for FSD is coming. They would not launch in China unless it was pretty good, says James. And we can see from this that Tesla's FSD is coming to China. This screenshot here is from the owner's manual for Chinese vehicles. And here's a translated version with Google Translate. We also just saw similar things in Australia and Germany. I don't know if this inflection point is going to be the inflection point, because we had so many of them before and FSD is not solved yet. But what is clear is that this is an important milestone. So either way, I'm fairly happy about this, and more importantly perhaps, this could actually increase Tesla's profits, because people in Europe and in China, they don't want to buy FSD because they can't use it. But it appears that that is going to change, perhaps very soon. Nothing has been really officially confirmed, so it could still take a while, but either way, I see this as good news. It looks like FSD is also coming to South Korea. If you look at the owner's manual in Korea, it now has a section about FSD. So it is probably coming to many more countries.